Previously on building Realm of Rights, and I'm thinking here we put a little building which will serve as the entrance to this. We shall craft another one of these arch shapes for the doors and for the actual clock part, because right now it kind of looks like a lens. And I finished this building, sort of, not the back, just the front. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Building Realm of Rights. Today I have an entire list of stuff I want to do. However, first of course I want to show you what I've done off screen. Most notably right here, these are finally some nice looking buildings now. However, compared to the rest, it's nothing super new. It's just a bit of a different design, I suppose. There's some simple stuff going on, loads of these pipes. And I also made sure there's a little support for the coaster that is now a little bit more steady, I guess. And over here, even more pipes. It's quite simple, really. From afar, it does look detailed, which is kind of the whole point. Then the coolest thing, I think, is this building. In general, the whole air race now looks much nicer. And as you can see, I made some giant gears, which technically, if they would actually spin around, this would kind of make sense. But unfortunately, they don't. Here's a kind of engine part. I don't know why. Looks cool, though. On the back, there's another gear basically going through the building. It's quite funky, it's quite nice. And so this here, I might put a drop tower later at some point, because drop towers have this really kind of basically this effect, which looks pretty cool. That will fit this area beautifully. So yes, and then also there is now this wall, which houses the exit of this ride, because there wasn't actually an exit before. So you get in right there, and then you go out on this side, leading you all the way through this tunnel, back to the same exit as the coaster, which is looking a bit strange, as you can see. The reason for this, I actually have a pretty wild idea for this, which I will do later on. Not today, though. However, just stay tuned, because it's gonna be pretty dope. And then finally, there is this curved little thing kind of separating, you know, the different spaces. Also, another side note, this is gonna be the steampunk area. This isn't. I will be adding some trees here, and that flows over into a little forest area here, which will just have maybe like a restaurant or a flat ride, something simple. And then there's going to be a bridge here and there. So as far as the steampunk area goes, this is it. Otherwise, it's going to be way too big and it's going to be boring as hell. Now, let's finally get into today's stuff. I want to make a pretty drastic change to the entire landscape, actually. These rocks here are pretty light, and it almost kind of flows over into the cobblestone here, which I don't like. So instead, let me go ahead and try see what it looks like if we make them quite a bit darker, like this. Do you think, oops, do you think that might be better? Especially because there are some black accents in the land. I actually really do think it is better, so let's go ahead. Paint the entire side. Besides, if it sucks, we can always just bring it back to what it was. That is much better, actually. Wow. The only thing is right here, I feel like we have to make it kind of transition into these lighter rocks, because I do like those on this side. So let's make it a little bit lighter each time, and hopefully that will look natural, kind of like this. We'll fix that later. Let's also do all the rocks at the back, and then we should be ready. Okay, then, now that we're on the topic of rocks, you might have noticed there's a bunch of roofs that have this black stuff at the top. That technically is supposed to represent coal, so I suggest we put some rocks on there in that same black color to add some depth, because I feel like it's just not really it. It's way too flat and too clean, so let's kind of roughen this up. Thankfully, we can make these rocks over here look very small and detailed, so this shouldn't really take that long. Besides, there's also the copy and paste tool. Here you go. There, let's see if that looks better. Much better, yes. That just gives it that much needed depth. Let's do that over here as well. On top of the coaster entrance is also a bit of the black stuff. Dude, that is so good. What the heck? Much better. Much better. Okay, so then there is this tiny little circular area here, and I thought it'd be fun to have some food stalls in this wall. So let's first go ahead and try opening this up a little bit, and then we can see what we can do. Behind this, of course, is this. Oh, wait a minute! Am I thinking what you're thinking? We could put a bunch of rides in here. I'm not gonna put myself through that. But it does lend itself really nicely for a small restaurant, and that I will do. Damn, it's only been 10 minutes and my original idea is already out the door. Incredible. Let's first put some walls in to make sure it looks a bit more clean. And whoopity-poppity. Let's put up some lights so I can see. Here you go. This is going to be a buffet because you always have those in theme parks, I feel like. And you know what we said about interior? It is going to be simple for this entire park. So I'll just make one little container with food in it. For example, some veggies over here. And that thing I'll just copy over a bunch of times like this. And then simply changing the color and material like this, so it looks like different food. Amazing. And we'll put some cooking plates over here with some hamburgers on it. And for some smoke and realism, we'll add a smoke emitter underneath, so it looks like they're actually cooking. Amazing. Then the seats and tables, I'm just gonna copy over from the ones I already made previously. The only thing I will do is change the material so it looks a bit more in theme. And you know the drill, copy and paste. It obviously isn't gonna be a huge restaurant. There are gonna be limited seating spaces, but it'll just have to do. Here you go. Then I'll make the simplest of supports, because nothing at all on the walls is kind of boring, isn't it? Here you go, just simple. And maybe for no reason at all, some windows too. Without any lights, however, it's super duper dark, so let's at least put those in, and then I think it's fine, right? Then that's enough, because we don't want to waste too much space and time on it. There, see? It's actually nice and cozy. It's not even so bad. However, above the kitchen here, we need some white light, because that's simply how it works. Here you go. I really don't think that's so bad at all. Okay, before making a cool entrance sign for this, somehow I do feel like we first need one of those curbs kind of around the entire thing like this, all the way to the end. And on top of this, we're gonna need a fence, and I'm thinking for this one, a bit of a more extravagant fence, because, I don't know, I just feel like we need some of that. Maybe something like this. Copy, copy, copy. To be fair though, there still isn't a ton of room for an entrance sign. Maybe on here, with like an arrow pointing to it. I'm not sure, but first of all, what will we name this? So later in the future, we can actually make that sign. So if you have ideas, let me know down below in the comments. Final little thing, I'll also put some of these outside here, because we have a lot of open space, to be fair. And I think we now can start adding the first benches. Let's go ahead and grab one. And then I would say mostly around this edge here. So we'll put 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then those trash cans right next to them. And you know what? Possibly even right here. Just 2 and another one. This always spices it up so nicely. However, there's also this bad boy. And let's see. Over here, possibly 1, and then another one right here. Actually, I should probably make it dark so we can actually see where we do need them. Gotta be careful not to put it too close to the track. Let's also put some up here already, now that we're busy anyway. And some more benches over here, dude. I'm so excited. It's always the little things that make it come together at the end of the day. Also, guys, a name for the plane ride. The air race. What's that gonna be called? Let me know down below in the comments. Would you look at that? I love it. And one tiny thing that's bothering me a lot is this part of the track. I've been meaning to add a support here, I just haven't yet. Let's do it right now, because it simply looks terrible. Here you go, one over here and one there, with the bases underneath, so it's nice and supported, and the actual connector pieces. Beautiful. All the other supports are gonna be for the next episode. Along with the coaster in general, because the launch still looks like trash. But I also said I wanted to add some trees. Actually, wait. First, there's something else. I want to have a little fence in the middle of this staircase. Here, just a few of these poles. There. Fabulous. Okay, so as I was saying, trees. I'm gonna go with the very pointy kind of spruce tree, pine tree. Pretty much the same thing, I think. I'm just gonna put one over here to see what size I want. I'm thinking not much bigger than this. Okay, so there's 2 things we can do. Either we can make it a little less nice by using these and save a ton of space and time, or we make a custom one, which might look slightly better, but is, you know, because this doesn't look too bad. What am I saying? We're definitely making a custom one. I saw people use these pieces for trees, so let's just go ahead and try that as well. Might actually just work. Here you go, something like this. As for color though, I want to go with a quite desaturated, slightly bluish leaves. Here you go. What I do wonder though is if the item limit is going to like this. Well, so far so good, so I'm not complaining. I really wish you could scale these down though, because now at the top I need to use some of these poles, which of course works too, but if I could choose, maybe we can try topping it off with a cone piece. I'm not sure if that's gonna look weird. And for the record, yes, it does indeed look a trillion times better, so it's definitely good we decided to go with this. And the final cherry on top are some branches on the sides. Not too detailed, he said. Bloody hell. The only thing I'm scared might happen is there's just too many items, and so I can't place it anywhere. We're gonna have to see. For example, if I were to place one over here, would that be possible? Yes. This reminds me though, we also need a smaller one there, so it's exactly the same, just shorter. And then these three we can start spreading around. I do of course have to be mindful where. It's not gonna be like a super foresty area up until this point, but especially around these back edges, I feel like we can use some trees. Just an extra splash of color as well. Here you go. This is gonna beautifully spice up. And over at this spot, this is just gonna be one big forest bit. Because what else are we gonna put here? Really nice and dense until we have the whole... Oh, I kind of knew that was gonna happen at some point. I just hoped it would take a bit longer. It's weird though, because I can... What? This makes no sense. We should kind of add some dirt here though, some ground. Otherwise these trees are just growing on rocks, which isn't technically very accurate. A bit lighter I think, and paint the whole thing like that. See, that definitely, yes. And you know what? Why don't we use a few of these ferns too? Before that, however, let me first repaint it so it matches the rest a little bit better. Here you go. Yep, that is once again fantastic. I mean, you won't really be seeing this side of the mountain like ever, but still, it's nice if there's something here. So, well, let me place down a bit more of these guys and then I'll be right back with you. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, here are some more trees on the side between these gaps. Also, I did decide not to put too many on the actual landscape. For example, these I deleted again because I kind of like the industrial look being not interrupted by vegetation. Anyway, I do really love it on the back here, just spices that up real nice. Then now on to the next step. What you may have seen in the background, just kind of sitting there, are these trains. This is a blueprint made by not me. And in general, let me just first say, I won't be using blueprints often. I would say I will rarely use them. This train right here I thought would look really good inside the cube. And since it's either this or nothing at all, I feel like this is better. In general, I'll mostly stay away from using blueprints in the future because it kind of defeats the purpose of me building my own stuff. But in this particular case, I think this will look really nice. If you want to use this one as well, the ID is down below, so check it out. For now, let me just paint this red so it's in theme. And then I thought it would look very cool to just hang it up here on the ceiling with a bunch of cables to it. I don't know, something like that. I will place it down like so. Ooh, that's very dark. Let's hang up some lights quickly over here. And on the ceiling, a spotlight that shines straight onto the train. Maybe red light could be cool. Or some other color. Oh, this is nice as well. Anyway, then I will use some of these chains to hang it up from the ceiling. And one might think it is kind of random. Well, yes, but also this is a station. Or at least, I mean, this is the cube, but it's leading to a station. So I actually think it's kind of cool if we have some references to trains and engines and stuff like that. And some kind of metal structure on the ceiling like this, so it's not completely random. There you go. Let's, by the way, also put a few lights in here because it is very dark otherwise. So yeah, it might be a tad lazy, but it's just a little something. It looks nice, it's cool, quick, and I wasn't even gonna do interior today. A crucial thing that the steampunk theme needs is smoke. Steam. And so, of course, we have various ways to do that in the game. We have a bunch of these smoke emitters, of course. And the first one I want to place down is actually in here because wouldn't it be very cool if there is some steam coming from this train? Let me tell you, it would be very cool. So this one right here, let's say the emitter power is going to be 100 on toggle, and then let's say 1 second on and off. Okay, never mind, longer off. Every now and again, a little puff of smoke comes out. And then that thing we can put over here as well. And a few above the train like this, just constantly spraying on it. Does this not look super atmospheric? Yes. However, I mostly meant the outside, actually, because as you know, the indoor areas for the coaster are yet to be done. So let's say there's a bit of smoke coming out. Should we put this all the way up, or is this gonna look weird? If we'll make it really nice and high, that's nice. Yeah, well, so that we're gonna have to do to a bunch of these areas, because there are a ton of little pipes that can have some smoke coming out of them. Same goes for this giant chimney over here. Yes, that's a really nice detail, actually. I like that. Makes it come alive as well. Let's pretend like I didn't just almost forget putting these on the biggest chimneys we have. Absolutely did not happen. And maybe one of these big ones just underneath this wheel, as if there's some smoke coming out of that little... Is that nice? I quite like it, actually. Yeah, let's do this. Here you go. So it looks Like there's something going on in there. Then for today, there's one last thing I would like to add. As you've seen earlier, I kind of messed this up intentionally. Because here is my idea. Just how dope would it be? We make this go all the way up, so you think, ah, this was it. But no, you keep going. So with an elevator, you go up, and then you drop again. And then you go back to the... I feel like that is... Oh, incredible. This has so much potential to be really cool or really weird. We'll see. And then here, well, we're gonna drop again. Something like this. And then from here, I'm gonna have to make some more layout, which I won't do today because that's a lot of work. I just wanted to kind of show you what my idea was. The only thing I'm not certain of is whether or not this should be a closed building like some of these, or if it should be an open structure like this bridge over here. I'm not sure yet. I guess I'll try some stuff and see what works best. Either could work, to be fair. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, it feels like I haven't done so much, but this has actually taken very long. So I suppose then for today, that is quite... Why do I speak British? I suppose for today then that is pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, make very sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell not to miss a single future upload, and then I hope I'll see you in the next episode of Building Realm of Rights.